and some rubber farmers are protesting any attempt by the government to get rubber or raw rubber exported. Let's move to a community in the Western region. Very important. Let's bring you the report after we have conversations around that.
Escorted by dozens of police officers, aggrieved members of the Rubber Farmers Association of Ghana from across the country, supported by some rubber buyers, marched from Takoradi to Sekondi. The demonstrators carried placards with inscriptions such as, "A great minister must listen to rubber farmers," "Don't destroy the rubber industry with your ban," "Rubber industry not for grail," "Protect the youth rubber farmers," "Rubber farmers are not slaves to processors," and "No export, no rubber industry." In their petition, RUFA General Secretary Michael Nyakon, who presented the document to the Western Regional Minister, dismissed claims of unchecked rubber export. He insisted that exporters comply with all regulatory requirements and blamed the calls for a ban on what he described as self-serving interest of GREL and its allies.
The actors of the natural rubber industry in Ghana, especially the farmers group, while busy preparing to engage relevant institutions on the raw rubber price mechanism, has taken note of recent public statement by Ghana Rubber Estate, GRE, the Rubber Processor Association of Ghana, RUPAC, the Western Regional House of Chiefs, and the ranking member of Parliament Trade and Industrial Committee, Honorable Michael Ochibefi. These statements allege that export of rubber are unchecked and hence undermine local processing, threaten Ghana's industrialization agenda to create jobs, and allegedly cause annual losses of up to $100 million. We wish to state categorically that these claims are false, self-serving, and do not reflect the realities of Ghana's rubber industry. The so-called processors, whom we call dryers, because they are not in actual fact processing rubber in Ghana, they are pushing for an export ban. It's not about protecting national industrialization. It is a deliberate attempt to monopolize the market, suppress competition, and force farmers to sell rubber cap plums at artificially low prices.
So the rumors that GRE is trying to influence a decision to ban the exportation of rubber or raw rubber to outside Ghana, and that would be a great disadvantage to farmers, because we have felt the heat that GRE gave us. The prices were not proper and other things. So it was as a result of the exportation in Tema. That's what gave good prices to farmers. So when we heard that GRE is trying to influence the decision of government, we decided that no, we must at least demonstrate to government that we are not going to accept such a decision if indeed it comes to be. So as of 2021, we are receiving less than 2,000 cedis from GRE. But when the exportation started, that's 1 year. But when the exportation started, we're getting not less than 8,000 cedis. And look at the gap difference. About 6,000 cedis difference. So even a rational human being or as an economist, we understand that 2,000 and 8,000, there's a quite greater difference. We are in a democratic state, and in every democracy, once your wish is not adhered to or it's not done, you have the right to make your own decision through the vote. So that is our simple, step to deal with this situation.
He further questioned why these processors are not able to buy rubber farmers' produce at appropriate prices.
We want the President of Ghana, His Excellency John Reverend Mahama, to hear from us that RUFAC is not against raw rubber processing or processes. In fact, we are asking the so-called dryer company to answer this simple question. It is not a PhD question, simple question. Why can processors not offer higher prices for cap loans than exporters? Why can't they offer higher prices than the exporters?
Receiving the petition, the Western Regional Minister, Joseph Nelson, assured the demonstrators that their concerns will be forwarded to the appropriate authorities.
So that is the concern raised by some rubber farmers, and it's about 2,000 farmers and aggregated from the Western region, aggregators from the Western region, and they staged this demonstration. It was a peaceful demonstration in Sekondi, Takrady Metropolis to protest calls for a total ban on raw rubber exports, describing the claim against the trade as misleading and self-serving. So there was an argument also that was placed that these rubber farmers actually do this process without going through the needed processes in terms of exporting. So the demonstrators drawn from rubber growing communities across the Western region marched through some principal streets of Sekondi, Takrady before presenting a petition to the Western Regional Minister Joseph Nelson at the Regional Coordinating Council, where correspondent Akwesi J. Enim indicated that the regional minister says that he would hand over that particular petition to the appropriate quarters and ensure that the needful is done. According to the farmers, export of raw rubber operates under an existing government approval regulatory framework supervised by the Tree Crops Development Authority. They cited that is the Tree Crop Development Authority directive issued on May 2, 2025, which requires that all exporters of the unprocessed rubber, cashew and shea be registered, licensed and issued permits before export. The farmers argue that claims of unchecked exports ignores the regulatory framework established under Act 1010 and LI 2471. But we will be speaking shortly with the authorities or the individuals who are in the space. The General Secretary of the Rubber Farmers Association of Ghana, Michael Nyako, is joining us for us to have a conversation on this. Good morning, sir. Good morning, Mr. Nyako. I trust you are doing well.
Yes, we are doing well in the Western region.
Good. So this demonstration that you embarked on to protest the proposed ban, is it only rubber farmers in the Western region, or you had some other colleagues of yours coming from other regions to join?
Okay, good morning to all viewers of ChannelOne TV. Thank you for the opportunity. Yes, to answer your question, I would say no, is the central region, and then 4 regions, all the regions that are having rubber plantations, central region, eastern region, western north, and the western region, that joined to have that demonstration we are talking about.
And with the protest you embarked on, what was the information you received from the Agric Ministry? For which reason you said that, hey, we would have to protest a proposed ban on raw rubber exports?
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, we had followed the media and some of the pronouncements that have come out so far from the processes, and some comments made by the Parliamentary Select Committee ranking member and all of that. And then, of course, the budget that was also read this year, that said that, late last year, that said that there will be rubber export restrictions. So we could feel and saw that there was that imminent of banning rubber export. So there were all indications pointing to the fact that government is taking steps because people were propagating some falsehood and the government didn't understand the industry very well. And so if you don't act promptly, there's a likelihood that government may ban the export of rubber. And when that happens, farmers will be worse off and worse off. And so we have to respond swiftly so that government will never listen to only one side of the issue and then take a decision that will not near to the benefit of the ordinary farmer.
Interesting. Mr. Nyako, what do you have to say to concerns that this ban is needed so as to also help grow domestic, rubber producers, the industry, and also help look at ways to add value addition rather than just exporting it for export's sake?
Thank you very much. In fact, I'll pick from a very important critical point that you made, value addition. That has been the concern of farmers all throughout. we are demanding for value addition for the raw rubber. And that we believe when that happens, farmers will get fair price for their produce. What is happening is not value addition. And that is the falsehood that has gone far, that we want to debunk that it is not value addition. If you dry rubber, what value are you adding? That's the question we're asking them to answer. If you only dry rubber, cocoa is produced from cocoa pod, from the farm cocoa pod. Cocoa pods, one is being plucked from the trees, is dried at different stages before it is bagged and exported. The same applies to rubber. They are only drying rubber and packaging it for export. So there's absolutely no value addition as far as the so-called processes are concerned. And that's why we call them drying companies. If you are drying rubber, you are not processing it. We have a proposal, and we are going to meet the Honorable Minister of Agri and Trade and tell them what are some of our proposals. Our proposals are very clear. Let us add value to our rubber produce. That is all we are saying. What they are doing is not value addition. They are merely buying from farmers and exporting on our behalf. Let me repeat it. They are only buying from farmers, drying it, and exporting on our behalf. So we don't see any value addition here. For 50 years of operation or more, Grey has existed. They have never ventured into value addition of rubber. Never, not even taking a single step. All they are doing is to buy the rubber and export on our behalf. And that is what we are resisting. That is a cheat. And they have been doing so by monopolizing the market. For so many years, they were monopolizing the market. So we have very cogent reasons why we are saying that the Honorable Minister must listen to us. Because if he doesn't listen to the farmers, who are the majority, including all the traders and other value chain actors, and he goes ahead to listen to the parochial interests of only some few individuals and ban the export of rubber, the industry is going to collapse for good. And I have reason to tell you that the industry will collapse. My brother, we are talking about a very sensitive issue. We are addressing a sensitive issue here that we believe that the minister must listen to us because farmers are suffering. Imagine if you leave the opportunity for only the so-called drying companies to buy rubber and export on our behalf. They are making the money. The money is going to the French and Indian government or investors. None of the investors is a Ghanaian. These are people who are fronting for foreigners, and they are buying rubber and making huge profit at the expense of the ordinary farmer and giving such profit to the French and the Indian investors. Meanwhile, Ghanaians, genuine Ghanaians who own their farms, who want to also go into some kind of business, are buying rubber to export. You say they should ban the Ghanaians?
Interesting.
And they should allow only the Indian and the French companies to buy the rubber and export on their behalf? You are not adding value.
Mr. Nyako.
You are not adding any value.
Mr. Nyako.
Yes, sir.
I've seen a statement from last year by the...
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Yes, I'm saying I've seen a statement by the Association of Natural Rubber Actors of Ghana. Are these the group, and they were essentially calling for the ban on export of rubber. Are these the group you are referring to as having, some parochial interest in all of this? And what would that interest be?
Thank you very much. That is the exact group we are referring to, and we have written to the TCDA to dissociate ourselves. It's only 3 people forming that association, that ANRAC, that how do you call it? The ANRAC so-called organization. It's only owned by some processors have formed their own association, and they are pretending as if they are representing all the actors. It is not true. We have written officially and have a press conference on that to dissociate ourselves, to disown them. It's only 3 people who are doing that. We don't know them. The real actors of the industry are here, and we are speaking now. We are speaking now. You were silent for some time, now we are speaking. So ministers should consult us. They have that program. They are processing or drying companies. They want to push an agenda by banning export so that they alone can buy the rubber and export. They also export raw rubber. So we don't have to condone that attitude at all, and we are clear in our statement that government must listen to us. Let us go to the table and discuss how can we add value to our rubber produce.
They are talking about industries. That's what they are using to confuse the government or propagate their falsehood. It's absolute falsehood. Let me tell my brother. They are saying that they are employing people. All the drying companies put together in Ghana are employing less than 1,000 people. We, the farmers, are employing over 650 people, Ghanaians. And if you monopolize the market because of your parochial interest, you monopolize the market, and then you alone buy the rubber and export, you can control the price. They have been giving us low prices, and that is what they want to do. When you do that, in fact, any small marginal reduction of price affects a lot of workers being laid off by the farmers. Because if I go and tap my rubber, I cannot make money out of it. I have to just abandon the farms. Some few months ago, when the price dropped seriously, we had to lay off a lot of our, about 230,000 Ghanaians were laid off from the tapping groups and the carrier groups. We are talking about real employment here. And they are saying that they are employing people, 1,000 people or less, compared to 650 workers that we are employing. So you want to use your 1,000 numbers to control the market, to control the industry. You say no. We must control the industry. You know what is in here for us. Let us have a discussion. Let us have a discussion. A discussion that will inform the growth of this country.
Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Michael Nyako. Who, yes, sir, I'm saying thank you for your time this morning. We'll be following the issues keenly, and we'll be coming back to you for updates. I think your point is well made, and you know, we'll be following your group's concerns.
Can you just some 30 seconds? Can you give me 30 seconds? Let me give you a very sensitive.
Okay, you go ahead.
Kindly go ahead. Kindly go ahead.
Let me tell you. These so-called drying companies, they also own plantations. They are unable to tap their own plantations. They cannot tap their plantations, but they have the audacity to come and buy from farmers and export on our behalf. You see, ask that question. Why are they not able to tap their own plantations? Because it is a difficult task, and we are doing all of this. Please, honorable minister, should listen to us. We are ready to sit on the table and discuss issues. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you to Mr. Michael Nyako, who is General Secretary of the
Rubber
Sekondi
Farmers Association
for
the Rubber Farmers Association of Ghana. Yeah. So
you get the sense, you know, they feel like a few people are pushing for an interest that doesn't represent the collective or the vast majority of, you know. But the point also remains that for years we've been producing rubber, but we don't. There's that lack of value addition, right? And the point is that value addition, in a lot of ways, is the way to go, because it makes the export more competitive in the long run, and it creates jobs, you know. But of course, they are saying that for many years, government has overlooked it, and you know, and I think there was a story that said that they contribute about a lot of money. I'll try and find the figure to the local economy. Right?
They do, because when you look at the rubber industry, what the people
in Ghana,
when you look at the rubber industry there. It's a very big industry that if you are having about
$100 million,
if you are having over 2,000 of them going on to protest, it tells you that it's a very big industry.
I saw a figure of $100 million. I've not verified it, but I will check it.
Anyway, let's speak to Akwesi. He filed this report, and I'm sure he may have engaged them extensively. Akwesi, good morning. Akwesi Ejienima, Western Regional Bureau Chief, ChannelOne TV, CTFM. Good morning. Okay,
good morning, Philip.
I trust you are doing well.
I'm doing fine.
Okay, so these rubber farmers, how many are they in the Western region, looking at the kind of business they do and the kind of employment they've created in the region?
Well, Philip, I would say they are more than 600,000. I think you meant 600,000, and he kept saying 650 people. They are in thousands. If you look at the Ghana Rubber Estate Limited, they depend largely on agrowers. That is, people who grow this rubber and sell to them for them to do their processing. And as he explained, the plant only dries the rubber and then export it. Don't forget, we have Bonsa Ties Manufacturing Company that has been redundant for decades. And look at the number of cars that we have on our roads. All of them are riding with ties. but none of these things are actually processed in Ghana. And so if the rubber companies, I mean, if you take the rubber companies, the three that he mentioned, I know two of them. That is Ghana Rubber Estate Limited, and then we have Narobix. And then there's another one, which is a very small one in the eastern region. The hub of the industry is all in the western region. And Ghana Rubber Estate Limited, since their establishment in 1967, they've not been able to contribute to rubber production. I mean, except for the period that we were having the Bonsa ties actually manufacturing actual finished product that Ghanaians need in terms of ties. So most of the things that they actually buy, the rubber, the cartons that they buy from the rubber, the factory only just dries it and exports it. And these are jobs that we are exporting. So if they are actually pushing for a ban to make way for value addition, then they should explain to Ghanaians what kind of value addition that they are doing, because what they are doing is almost the same as what farmers are actually doing now. These farmers, from right after the COVID, realized that they are being cheated in terms of the prices that Ghana Rubber Estate Limited and the other two factories were actually buying from them. So they saw the need to actually mobilize themselves and begin to export these things themselves, just like the Ghana Rubber Estate Limited is doing. So I think if we really want to push this direction, government must actually push Ghana Rubber Estate Limited, which has 26% ownership from government. The rest belongs to the French people. Ghana only has just 26%, 26.75% shares in the Ghana Rubber Estate Limited. And so a chunk of whatever they are earning from exporting this dry rubber outside is going to the French economy. And whatever these agrowers actually sell, it comes directly to Ghana because they are here. And so if we are very much committed to pushing this whole agenda of value addition, then these stakeholders must tell Ghanaians what kind of value addition are they doing, because we are still importing all our ties. And then the Bonsa ties factory is actually lying fallow for decades. When are we going to see them helping us to actually add value to our rubber that we are producing to a point where we wouldn't have to spend so much dollars in importing ties, which actually also contribute to weakening our currency? So I think they have a very valid argument, and then the government must really sit down with them. More importantly, the so-called manufacturing companies, the drill and the rest, to tell us what kind of value addition they are doing over there for Ghanaians to be convinced that they have a case for which the ban should take place, but to take effect. But for now, I think the farmers have a case that the government must actually listen to them, because they produce a chunk of the rubber that Ghana Rubber Estate Limited, Narobix and the rest are exporting at a natural, dry state.
I would say thank you so much for your time. At least your point has also tightened the loose ends, and that is a very interesting one. Akwesi J. is our Western Regional Bureau Chief, and he brought us that story there.